Design that needs for my wire harness is represented in schematic form in this AutoCAD electrical drawing. You will see that the connector A1 is represented by long strip and connector L1, L2, P4 are also present. Each one of the wire is labeled and there is a splice included in this design. To share this information with Inventor, I can simply click on Create File on Export on my active drawing. It is impossible to create bidirectional associativity between Inventor and AutoCAD Electrical so that if any changes are made to the AutoCAD Electrical design in Inventor, they can be also reflected in schematic diagram as well. So now after exporting the data from AutoCAD Electrical by simply clicking on Export to the Inventor, now we will import that data in Inventor. So I will take the advantage of AutoCAD Electrical information by editing the harness and going into the import harness data. So first of all, double click on harness 1. Go to the import harness data and here there is an option of import harness data and make sure it will be export your XML document. But before exporting this document and into the Inventor, first of all you have to create the splice. Now what is a splice? A splice is in effect is just a point in a space, but it's an indicator to Inventor where you would like to put a real splice in your wire. It's represented by a green dot that is held off by any surface that you pass over. And I can also double check to the harness information of the splice. So we will create a splice. So click on create splice and make sure it is named properly, labeled properly, category, name that is defined by default. So as you can see, wherever I hover over my cursor, it will be displayed as a green dot. If you want to specify with some offset distance, so you can right click and click on edit offset and specify the distance. Let's say 0.3 inch. And you can simply clicking on that point in order to create the splice. And simply clicking on apply and clicking on close. To check the property of the splice, simply click on the point and you can right click and use harness or splice properties or harness properties. So as you can see, splice properties, that is SP1. So you can simply click, right click and say its properties, harness properties. So now after creating my splice, I can go to the import harness data, browse that AutoCAD electrical XML file and simply click on OK. So now let me review all this information. So here as you can see, total there are 4 parts are there, E1, L1, L2, P4. Here splices, one splice is there that we have created in Autodesk Inventor and these are the wires are there. So within this wire, as you can see, there are type of the wire is also there and reference designator is also mentioned. From which designator you have to start and from which designator you have to end. And simply click on OK. So as you can see, it is showing me successfully processed 9 wires and 0 error, 0 warning. So simply click on close. So as we can see, my wires has been created. So right click on any one of the part, edit harness property. As you can see, each and every part has been labeled. So here each and every part has been reference or designated number has been given. From the AutoCAD electrical drawing, each and every parts are referenced and designated numbers are given. So those two information which are to be connected in Autodesk Inventor, and it will be create automatic schematical diagram. So if any changes which are to be going to be occurred in AutoCAD Electrical or Inventor, it will be also affected in the other software as well. And simply click on finish cable and harness. So now as you can see, your wire has now been created with automated process.